Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I am Barbara. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. We're going to have a good time today, just doing all the things. So the video I uploaded, I don't know when you'll see this, either yesterday or a couple of days ago. I was in the tunnel. It was about to be a storm and I was trying to get all the things done. Well, the bottom fell out. I did make it home before the bottom fell out. So I didn't get a chance to do all the stuff that I wanted to do. So I'm back in the tunnel today. And what I'm talking about was just yesterday. It was 68 degrees yesterday. We were having a lot of tornado potential activity. We did not have a tornado. So that was a blessing. Everybody is safe. But today it is freezing. It is freezing. It is 48 in the tunnel. I'm hoping it'll warm up because I just kind of closed myself in. I only had the door a little bit ajar and I had the size like maybe, a few inches up off the ground. So it's 48 degrees in here, but I came to close the tunnel in, which I should have just closed it all last night. Is what I should have done. Because tonight it's going to be like low 20s, just like that. So the high today outside is about 48, 50. So it's the same thing in the tunnel because I had the door slightly open. I think had it all been closed in, it would be a bit warmer in here. But I came to close this up, and I also came to get my seedlings out of here and take them back in the house for the next couple of nights. The next couple of nights is going to be in the low 20s. For those that are new to me, I'm in Tennessee. I'm in zone 7A. And where the weather is different every day. It is different every day. And I think a lot of people around the country are experiencing that, just having really unusual weather that's not how it normally is in your area. So anyway, it's going to be like in the low 20s the next 2 nights. I'm going to bring the seedlings into the house, let them be warm, and I'm about out of space. But I came to do that, and I think I'm going to start some more seeds and get those taken into the house. Then I'm going to show you a couple of new things that I bought. I know I'm always buying something. This is the no judgment zone. No judgment, okay? I work, I can buy what I want, okay? So, let me show you while I'm on this side of the tunnel before I take you over to see the seedlings. Let me show you a couple things that's new, okay? So I mentioned this the other day. You can see here, this is what you call a dibbler, okay? And so I mentioned this other day. I told you I had ordered one. Well, it came yesterday. And this is what you can use to kind of poke the hole in your soil when you're starting seeds. This one does not have measurements on it, but you'll get a lot of them that has measurements on it. So like an eighth, a fourth, an inch. And that way you can go up to where the measurement is and you know, okay, that's how deep my seed needs to be. I talked a little bit about this on the last video, about some of you may be experiencing some germination issues, and it may not be your seeds. It may be that you're putting them too far into the ground. And so if you want an explanation about that, then certainly watch that video. That was right before this one. And I talked a little bit about seed planting death, but again, a dibbler will help you do that. Now, on that video, I just used the bottom of a pen, and I said in that video, I didn't like that because I wasn't really paying a lot of attention, and so the hole was too deep, right? And this, I don't know why they sent me. Maybe it came with 2 and I didn't know it. I certainly don't need 2, but I guess I could use one for the back of the house, and I can use one on this side of the garden. So anyway, it's stainless steel. Here you can see it. I like the fact that it's pretty big, has a nice handle. And so I'm going to try it and see if I like it. If I don't, I'll send it back. So that's one new thing. And so especially if you're new gardener and you're trying to figure out how deep to plant my seeds and what's an eighth, what's a fourth of an inch, what's a half an inch, then this might be a really handy tool. Or if you're just trying to like make something, a hole or something to put your, maybe a small transplant in, this might come in handy for that as well. Because I've been doing it a little while, I just eyeball it, right? I just eyeball it. But I saw this little fancy tool and it was like, I don't know, $6 or $7. It wouldn't, now they had some that was like, I don't know, a little bit more expensive. And those are probably the ones that have the measurements, but I didn't want all that. I just got something cheap because I wanted to try it. And then if I really, really, really like it, and think I need it, which I don't think I do, then I'll upgrade. Yeah, so that's that. Then look at this. Okay, so y'all know my watering issues. If you've been here, you know I got a sprayer like this that was like a 2-gallon, a pump sprayer. Trash. Okay, trash. I went through 2 of those. Then I just got me a brand new backpack sprayer that is the bomb. I did a video on that, so make sure, I will try to link it up here. Make sure you go check it out, the backpack sprayer. That is bomb, bomb, bomb. Love it. Well, this is a 1/2 gallon pump sprayer mister. I got this to do my seedlings. I saw this and I'm like, let's try this out. Matter of fact, when we go over here to check on the seedlings, we're going to try it out together, and I'm going to let you see what it does. So let me show you the seedlings and how they're doing before they go into the house and get all cozy. And then let me show you this right here. Okay, so do y'all see my little seedlings? So first let me show you. I'm going to try to show you this way because I think maybe it'll be easier to see versus me turning the camera around. But these are the soil blocks that we started a few weeks ago. Not a few weeks ago, last week, y'all. Last week we started these. These are the soil blocks. You can see mostly everything germinated, except I have 1 row right in here that did not germinate as well. And I don't remember what that is, if I'm being honest. But everything else germinated. I just had 1 row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that didn't germinate. Everything else did well. The thing with the soil blocks is they do get dry, right? So you can kind of see that there. They get dry. We're going to use a little handy dandy sprayer. But yeah, these are looking good. I don't know what's what, so I actually got to go back to my video and watch, because all of my labels, I went to put the humidity dome in it and all of my labels flipped out when I was putting it on the heat mat. So I don't know what's what, because some of these kale and collards kind of look the same, but I'll have to go back to my video and see. I think I talked about what I did in each row. If not, we'll know soon enough, right? We'll know soon enough. Okay, so these are seedlings that we did a couple of weeks ago. That was a week ago. This is 2 weeks ago. And this is where I used that vermiculite. Y'all, I didn't like it. And I think I used one that was, what's the word? It wasn't as fine as it could have been. I think they come in different coarseness. And so this was like a coarse one. Like you can kind of see here. Let me see how big it is. But I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So these are snapdragons here. They've come up. They're germinated, but they're really, really slow. And this is lettuce. It doesn't look great, but it's still green. We're going to see what it does. And maybe you know what? I may up pot this into a pot and see what happens. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so then these are our leggy seedlings that, so you can see there, I feel like I'm Vanna White. Wow. These are our leggy seedlings that we went through and put it deeper into the soil. I did a video on that about how to fix your leggy seedlings, and y'all look, they are thriving and growing. These are actually, I'm going to transplant these on next week. So they are ready to go. Let me just take one out. You can see I got roots coming down there. This is bok choy. Look how healthy that looks. Look at that. That looks so much better than it did last week. Those of you who are with me, you saw how my stuff was looking. It was like way up here, and like the stem was way exposed. It did not look good. But look at it now in just a week. Thriving. Let me show you another one. Here's some lettuce. You can see again, it's doing well. Looking much better. Much, much, much better. But all of these guys are looking so good. So I'm thinking they'll be ready to transplant in the next week or so. Like, look at my cauliflower. That looks good. Yep, so that looks good. Happy about those. And then the very last one was another tray of leggy seedlings that were not as far along as the other ones, but they're looking much better. So you can see that here. I have some rosemary, I have some eucalyptus, I have collards, parsley, and pink celery. I got a little bit, there's my celery right there on the very left-hand side. So those are looking good. All of these are gonna go in the house for the next couple of days. And these are all cold weather crops. So will they be okay? Yeah, they should be okay because they're cousins. Like the other ones that are really, really big are already out in the ground and they would do fine. But just because they're seedlings and they're not as mature and they're not in the ground yet, I just don't want to take any chances. And so I'm just going to take them in the house just to be on the safe side, right? Because I don't want to lose that whole tray of stuff. I done took my time and planted it. I've taken my time and fixed the leggy seedlings. So we want those to be A-okay. We're just not going to take any chances. Okay, now let me show you the sprayer. Okay, so, oh yes. Can y'all see that? I don't know if you can see the stream that's coming out. Oh yeah, I like that. See if you can see this. Can y'all, hold on, let me pump it some more. Now, can you see the stream? Y'all see that? Oh, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Yes. Okay. All right. Turn off. I got to figure out how to use it, y'all. Oh, press the button. Okay. But look. You see how much better that looks? And I like it. Now, I do a lot of bottom watering too, but it's hard to bottom water sometimes these because I have it in a deep tray, right? And so the water would have to go all the way up to the top versus a lot of times with bottom watering, you want to use a shallow bottom tray. But I like this. Like I have a spray bottle, you know, like those traditional spray bottles. They're like yay tall that you can get from like the dollar store. Those do okay, but this is much better because it comes out in a mist, right? Which is what you want. It's not going to drown it. And it kind of spreads it out, for lack of a better term. So yes, I like that a whole lot. That's so much easier. So much easier. Oh, just press the button. And it's a half a gallon. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, a half a gallon. So that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. I really like that. See, that's why I'm always buying stuff and trying stuff because you never know. Again, this is all about when you're doing a garden, especially on a big scale, then efficiency, timely, less work is the name of the game. It is the name of the game, right? And so this is great. I may get me another one and have one. And I'm always, I buy two of everything once I know that I like it. Because I'll keep one in the tunnel that I can use for the tunnel. And some stuff can be tunnel and the outside garden. Like I wouldn't use this in the outside garden. It's too much, surface area, too much space. But this is perfect for like seedlings in a tray. And then I can also have one of these at home when I'm starting my seedlings indoors and I want to water them overhead once they're established. This is a much easier way to do that. So let me do this. Oh yeah. You just pump it and you can tell when it's ready because you get that tension. I like it. That works great. And you don't have to worry about overwatering. Love it. Okay, so look, if I buy something, I'm going to show it to you. And if I like it, I'm going to tell you I like it. If I don't like it, I'll tell you that too. And again, what I always say, if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, throw it out. We all have different stuff. So yes, all of that is looking good. So now I'm going to go back over to the other side and I'm going to start some microgreens to take in the house. And then I think, let me see. I may do microgreens or I may do some other seeds. Let's see what we have. Okay. I took my seeds back to the house that I had yesterday of the stuff that I would start seeds on. So I'm not going to run back up to the house. Hold on. Let me check one thing. I feel like I'm not as organized as I want to be. Does that make sense? And it's bothering me. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Not what I'm looking for. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start one tray of microgreens. So let me give you an update on microgreens. So for those that are new, I'm learning and starting how to do microgreens. So I have done 2 batches so far, really 1.5. The first one that I did, I was kind of just playing around with it, and it didn't, I didn't let it go too far before I just started all over. So the last one that I did, they did well. I did eat off of them, but they were not as tall as I wanted them to be. So I'm still not yet ready to do a video on how to do microgreens. I will do that once I get it the way that I want it and that it's successful. So instead of me doing 2, I did 2 trays the last time. I did 1 broccoli, 1 cabbage. And those turned out good, but not great. Like it was very short and compacted versus tall the way I wanted it. And so I've done some more troubleshooting. I've talked to some friends who do microgreens. They gave me some tips. I'm going to try it again. So this is really be my 2nd time, 3rd time, however you want to say it. But I'm going to start that today. I'm just going to do 1 tray today. One, I need to conserve on space in the house because they will need to go on a heat mat. What else was I going to say? I'm going to start 1 tray today. See if I can get it the way that I want it and the right way. Then see if I can do it again. Then I'll show you how to do microgreens from my perspective. Okay? But while you're here with me today, we're going to go ahead and get started on this tray of microgreens. So I got my tray. This is a 10-20 tray that has holes in it. Don't you love the orange? Okay. And then it's sitting in a 10-20 shallow tray that does not have holes in it, right? Because you want the water to be able to drain. So we're going to put some soil in here. And spread it around. And for those of you who are great microgreen growers, feel free to leave me some suggestions. I heard it's easy. And I'm not ready to give up after 1 time because, I mean, I did get them to grow. They did germinate. I did eat them. They tasted good, but it was not the way that I wanted it. So we are going to do it again. And microgreens are so nutritious and so good for you. And it's one of those things that if you have very small amount of space, or if you don't have a place to garden outside, like maybe you live in an apartment or something like that, this is a great way to garden and get you some nutritious food, because it doesn't take much to do microgreens at all. Now I have this big 10-20 tray, but you can do them. I've seen videos where they've done them like in a container, like one of those to-go containers. Like you can do it in just about anything. So yeah, let me add a little bit more soil. And one of the things that I'm doing different this time is I'm putting more soil up to the top, to the lip of the tray. And I did not do that before. I did a little bit less. And then talking to a friend of mine that does it, they were saying that I needed more soil. So you can kind of see I have it full here, but I'm going to actually press this down because you want a flat surface. And she said that when I press it down, it should still be at the lip. So it should be like right up at the top. So I'm going to add a little bit more soil so it'll be right there. And the reason why it is that you want, when you're cutting and harvesting your microgreens, you want a clean cut, meaning you don't want the soil on it, because otherwise you got to wash it, right? And I mean, you can, that came out the wrong way. You can still wash your microgreens, but if you are doing microgreens on scale, right, to harvest and to sell to someone, when you're harvesting microgreens, again, you want a clean cut so none of the soil gets on it. So it's actually clean, and you can package them up that way. And then, of course, the person who buys them can watch them when they get home. But of course, you know, when you water it and put water on it, it's not going to last as long. The longevity is not there. So you want a clean cut so that you can just eat them and not have a whole lot of soil mixed in. So if the soil is at the top of the lip, when you go through with your harvester knife, you're cutting the microgreens at the base, but it's not getting the soil. I hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. Like, I know it in my head. Now I just got to do it, right? I just got to do it. So I'm pressing the soil down. Just so that it's smooth and a flat surface. Making sure that I have a bit more and that it's up to the lip. And I can tell you now, I definitely did not have this much soil the last time. I did not. So then she also said, let me see if I have, hold on. I can use this to kind of press it down. I just put another 1020 tray on top of it to kind of press it down and just kind of put a little bit of weight on it. Now you can kind of see where we are. So what I don't know is, do I need more? I don't know. I think I'm gonna put a little bit more just so that there's no question about whether it's at the top or at the lip. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Just add a little bit more. Let me know in the comments if you've done microgreens before, and if so, what's your favorite kind to do or to eat? Let me know. Pressing it down. One last time. Okay. Now, that is pretty much at the top. I don't think it should be like overflowing, but again, we're going to try it and see. Then we're going to take our little sprayer and we're gonna wet it. Oh yeah, that works so good. And see, this way I don't even have to turn on my water outside because I have this. You're gonna wet it so that the soil is pre-moistened. Perfect. You can see here that. And then let me grab my seeds. Okay, so I have my seeds. So I'm going to do a cabbage microgreen. At the farm workshop that I went to, they had these, and I absolutely loved them. I didn't think I liked microgreens until I went to this farm workshop, like for real, and tasted. So cabbage was one of my favorite. And it's called Tokyo Bacana. I got it from Johnny Seeds. So you can see that there. So I am going to actually, again, I'm doing something different a little bit. I'm actually going to weigh out my seeds. I brought my kitchen scale from up at the house because the person that I talked to, my friend that was helping me, she actually gave me the measurements that she does. And so I'm like, let me just measure it out and let's just see if we can get it to be exact. Not a long process, right? It's just because I'm talking you through it and because I'm new at it. That's all. So I don't want you to think, I'm not doing that. So I got a little cup. Okay, so we're gonna do 18 grams. Let me tear that out. And it'll be interesting to see, since I'm measuring out and she gave me her exact measurements, to see if I was doing too little or less. So I'm glad. Okay, that was 19. Okay, little slip of the hand, but that's okay. Close enough. Let me put this back there. Okay, so we're all learning from each other. So I got my 18 grams of seeds, and basically you just sprinkle it out onto the wet soil, or the moist soil, I should say. Before, from an education perspective, I did cabbage and I did broccoli. In one place of my cabbage, it was really, really thick, right? It was very thickly populated, sounds like thickly planted, right? And so it was too thick, so I could tell I put too many seeds in that area. But the rest of it was very nice and even, which you want, just a nice, even, almost like a bed of carpet, right? On my broccoli, I had a lot of open spots, which told me that I didn't plant enough seed, and it wasn't as, what's the word? Okay, my dogs are chasing somebody or something. It was sparse. So I had a lot of open spots, which tells me that when I was doing the seeds, it wasn't like cohesive and like all together. So uniform, that's what I'm trying to say. Y'all, sorry. Okay, so we're gonna just sprinkle, y'all. I was talking to y'all and the camera was not on. So let me just catch you up. I hate it when that happens, because I can't recreate this part. But where I left off was I was going to sprinkle the seeds in. I did. I used all 19 grams. You can kind of see the seeds there all throughout, right? And so I just sprinkled again. I just kind of took my cup, and just went through it like that, as evenly and uniform as I possibly could. Then I took my little handy dandy thing and I just sprayed it with water, just to moisten the seeds yet again. Okay, so now I'm going to take this in the house. I'm going to cover it with one of these, an empty 10-20 tray, and then I'm going to put some weight on it. Okay, about 5 to 10 pounds to weigh this down. Here's the reason why you do that. So remember, this is a microgreen seed. It's a seed like anything else. A seed that's in the ground is covered by soil, typically, unless you surface sow it, and that's what it needs. It needs light to germinate. This does not need light to germinate. It needs darkness to germinate, just like most traditional seeds. So you put this on here for what we call like a blackout period. So it's going to cover it, make it dark, and then you're going to put the weight on top of it. You can use books, you can use a dumbbell, anything that has significant weight between 5 to 10 pounds to weigh this down, right? That is going to press this down, and the seed is going to feel like it is under soil, right? Because it's pressing down against it. It's dark because the tray is covering it, and the weight makes it feel like it's under soil. That's basically what happens. The blackout period, I think where I went wrong the last time is you'll start to see in a couple of days that they're germinated, right? And you'll see like really light green, almost brown looking sprouts. Well, I took mine off, I put it under the grow light, and they all grew, turned green, and grew great, but they were short, not tall the way that they should be. And in talking to my friend, I think my blackout period should have been longer. So what that means is this time, instead of me taking off this tray in 2 days, I'm going to probably leave it for 4 days, right? Because once you take this off and they hit the light, they're not going to grow any taller. They're just going to get green, right? And fill in and get the leaves and all that good stuff. So you want it to almost push up against where you can see it pushing up, and they're the height that you want them. And then you remove the white tray, and then you put it under the grow lights or bring it outside, you know, if you're in the right temperature, and then let it go from there. So that's what I'm going to do different this time, is just to have a longer blackout period. Now, I feel like I'm teaching you already how to do microgreens, but that's not what this is. I'm just telling you and bringing you along because you were already in the tunnel with me, showing you what I'm doing. Don't take this to be the gospel because I got to see if it's going to work. Like my microgreens grew the last time, but it did not grow the way I wanted to, so I don't feel yet that I'm teaching you how to do microgreens. You're just going along the process with me, okay? But we're going to hope and we're going to pray that it works. And once I get it, I will certainly come on here, show you, teach you, and do all the things, okay? So, I got trays to get into the house. I got 5 to get into the house before it gets cold tonight. And they'll stay in the house for 48 hours. And then after that, the 10-day forecast looks amazing. So they can come back down here and hang out and be all warm. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. We didn't use our dibbler today because we didn't start any seeds. But the next time we start seeds, we will use one of these and see if we like it. I definitely like my little sprayer for sure. That's a keeper. Oh, let me not leave my scale down here because I am going to make bread this weekend because we're out of bread and we can't be out of bread. Okay. So I'll put that there. I'm going to get all my little stuff, walk it to my car, drive it up to the house so they can be warm and cozy. Remember, y'all, this is all a journey. Don't give up. Be encouraged. We must grow our own food. Remember, it's all a journey. Let's grow together. Can't wait to see you next time.